Live from Studio B and KPRC2. Houston Life starts now.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Houston Life on this Thursday, September 2nd, 2021. I'm Derek Shore.
And I'm Courtney Savala. Thanks so much for being here. All this week on Houston Life, we're celebrating the best of summer with a look back at some of our favorite moments here on the show. And today we'll be focusing on talented figures from all walks of life, including music, books, even the kitchen.
We have had so many incredible guests, so why don't we start with our conversation with a local chef and former Olympian who shined on the latest season of Bravo's Top Chef Portland, where she made it all the way to the finals. And Courtney, we of course know, even though she returned home without the title, Dawn Burrell is only getting started.
Dawn, we were rooting for you. It's so good to see you back on Houston Life. Okay. Well, I mean, in a nutshell, what was this like? No other Houston chef has made it to the finale. I mean, you really wowed the chefs from beginning to end.
Well, thank you for that. I was just feeling a little bit anxious myself as I was watching that video. That clip. You know, it was really. I'm really still very proud of what I've done, even though I didn't bring back the win for us. I hope that you all feel that I have represented this city very well. It was an honor and a pleasure to work against beside these lovely chefs, and it was even better to have Jamie as my sous chef for that evening.
Yeah.
So all exciting things.
Portland too. This was such a beautiful backdrop for this season. Looking back, I mean, title or not, is there anything you would do differently about the season? Because again, regardless of this title, you are moving forward with your life, and you have some pretty exciting news about your own restaurant.
Right. Yes, I would have edited myself a bit more. I think I'm always anxious to show people what I can do, and I reach for like the moon and the stars when maybe I just need to reach as high as, you know, the ceiling, just to make sure that I get everything done that's supposed to get done. But I think that it has a lot to do with being an athlete. And my past career. I am really excited for what's to come here in the city. I am opening a restaurant in the Ion Center with my partner, Chef Crystal Williams. He's my business partner, and so I'm looking forward to bringing you some of these dishes that you've seen on Top Chef this season.
We are so excited. I can't wait for that restaurant to open. My husband and I are huge fans of the show, huge fans of yours. And if we need to catch anybody up, of course, Dawn, you competed in the 2000 Sydney Olympics as a U.S. team for the long jump, and then you later enrolled in culinary arts at the Art Institute of Houston, so always representing our city and country so well. What I think is so great about this season, Dawn, and I love Shota, I love Gabe, I love all the other chefs, but I feel like, you know, I know Gabe won, but, you know, it was very predictable on the ingredients that those two guys would use. You really went outside and out of your comfort zone, from tofu to clams to crabs but yet still brought in sort of a little bit of you. That was really the challenge for you, I would guess, right? Still trying to keep true to yourself.
Yeah, well, I entered this arena, honestly, making sure that I'd always stay true to myself. I think it's very important to do that, you know, and in a competition such as this, you know, you want to showcase your skills, but you also want to let people know who you are culinarily, and I think I did that well this season. I can say that the chefs really enjoyed what they ate from me, and I have that to take away.
You have so many fans here, Dawn, not just in Houston, at KPRC. I'm telling you, Courtney gets so fired up. Like, she was so excited to watch last night's episode. What was the big takeaway? I mean, we talked about earlier how you know, you should have maybe just touched the ceiling when you were shooting for the stars. I think that's an interesting analogy. But what is your big takeaway from this experience, which I can only imagine the level of pressure you felt?
Honestly, the takeaway, pressure, I'm okay with. You know, it came with the territory from being an Olympian and training really hard toward that goal. I think my takeaway is even more confidence than I had as a chef before this experience. I embraced each challenge fully. I did my absolute best. It was well received. I am aware of the things that I have to work on, and I'm going to work on performing better each and every day. So.
Well, it's really fantastic. We love shining a spotlight on you, and we can't wait for late August to open. And please tell me those black eyed peas are on the menu, because I've been drooling ever since last night. I'm going to need some of those black eyed peas.
Absolutely. Those black eyed peas will be on the menu. There's nothing better than a fresh black eyed pea, and you'll get them here.
I agree.
I've seen the drool, Dawn. That's not a joke.
It's real.
It's really been happening. Dawn Burrell, thank you so much. It's great to see you.
All right. Thank you for having me.
And congrats on a great season. If you would like to keep up with Dawn, you can connect with her using the link we have shared on our website, HoustonLife.tv.
Is the incredible true story of Casa Hogar, a Mexican boys' home that entered the world's biggest fishing tournament to try and save their damaged orphanage. Omar, the director of the orphanage, played by Jimmy Gonzalez, is forced to team up with grizzly and washed-up previous winner Wade, played by Dennis Quaid, who reluctantly lets them on the boat to try and go for the big cash prize.
Sorry, but I'm afraid you don't qualify for this list.
What if you team me up with a local fisherman? Doesn't have to be anybody even good. Doesn't even have to be a fisherman. With them?
I have to ask, are you a fishing guy? Were you the person that got on the boat and was like yakking left and right because of seasickness?
Arr, behindies. Mostly fresh. I'm mostly a freshwater fisherman. That's the truth. My first fishing experiences were in and around Houston. But I like getting out on the ocean too. It's a whole different thing to it, and it really made the story in a way, because you're on this boat with all these kids and people who don't know what they're doing, and it's a miracle that it really is a miracle story, and that these kids from this orphanage with this grizzled captain who, with a terrible boat, were able to win the world's biggest fishing tournament. I mean, before I said yes, I had to ask 3 times if it really was true. But it was.
It sure was. Now, I'm assuming that we can't catch any blue marlins, in Matagorda or Galveston or anything like that, right? We're not catching those types of fish here. Jimmy, how big, how much does a blue marlin weigh? And is it like super hard if you were by yourself to pull it back onto the boat?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they range in weight from 100 to 385 pounds, which I think was the winning fish for Casa Hogar. So you need a team. Absolutely. You need a team.
Dennis, what was the hardest part of shooting a film like this? Did you do most of it on the water, obviously?
Yeah, but, it's not really a job. We're making a movie. I'm really glad to be there. And we shot in a tank. They had this huge tank built in the Dominican Republic, which is where we shot, and that's why we shot there. The biggest tank in the world, I think. And because it's incredibly difficult shooting on the ocean. This tank was on the beach, so you felt like that you were, able to change the lights and all the rest of that. Plus, with kids overboard, you don't want to take a risk on that when you're shooting. And but there were a couple of days that we were able to go out, and we threw our lines over the edge while we were waiting in between shots, and got some fishing done, and. It was just a great experience, the whole thing.
Hey, Dennis, they tore down the old Bel Air High School building. Are you shedding a tear?
I heard that 2 days ago, in fact. I know it had been damaged during the hurricane that it happened, and gosh, that hits hard.
I know.
I hear they might even move the site. Is that true?
No, they built a brand new building, and it is beautiful right behind it. And for anybody who ever went to Bel Air High School, they're going to have parking now, which was a big deal. Okay.
Wow, yeah, there was a big deal. Yeah, especially when you got your car. When you're 16, 17, you got your car. It was always where do I park? Fantastic.
Dennis and Jimmy, thank you so much for your time.
All
really
the condos out there.
To share the movie with our viewers. Thank you.
Take care.
I love that shout out to all the Bel Air Cardinals right there. Maybe the next time Dennis comes to town, we can take a tour of the new Bel Air High School together. Somebody text him for me, okay? You guys can catch the amazing true story of Blue Miracle streaming now on Netflix.
no job that requires no resume. Would you just shut up and look? Denise, how did you go to Hillman? It's not even a real college. It's an honorary degree.
Well, that was Tammy Roman in the new BET Plus comedy, The Miss Pat Show, a sitcom highlighting the comedic chops of the veteran reality TV star known for her unapologetic candor.
I love her. And the Houston-based actress, producer, and entrepreneur is joining us now to tell us why she is truly in the best moment of her career. Tammy, welcome to Houston Live.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
This is so great. I mean, your resume, I mean, it goes on and on and on, but let's just take a moment. I do want to talk about the new show, Miss Pat, because it looks super funny. I love the role that you're in, but let's bring it back to where it all started in 1993, girl. Can you believe it was that long ago that you were on The Real World?
Yes, my lower back tells me every day. So, yeah, but 1993, you know, it started it all. I had no idea that I would even roll into the entertainment industry in this capacity, and it basically catapulted me into scripted programming and television work.
And what's interesting, too, about this era, 1993, I mean, you were on reality TV before people even knew what reality TV was.
Yeah.
And so I feel like now there's so many reality shows, it's really saturated. You always considered yourself, though, Tammy, an actress first and foremost. Is that right?
Yes. Absolutely. I was trying to have a singing group. I was trying to model, but I knew that I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I just didn't have a platform. And so once Real World came out, people thought we were actors because there was nothing called reality TV. So I started getting auditions, and then the rest is history, as they say.
It's really incredible when you think about where it all has been, right, with reality TV, where we are today. But here you are, you say in the best role, the best moment of your life. And why do you think that this is your moment right now?
You know, quite honestly, I've been in the business for about 23 years, and this is one of the first roles that I feel is very close to me. You know, with it being scripted and not me doing, you know, reality TV. This role is allowing me to be funny. It's allowing me to be creative. It's allowing me to talk how I talk. So, you know, I don't have to do much when I show up to work. I just need to know the lines, but I feel the character, the essence of the character is me.
Let's chat about Truth Be Told. So you have a recurring role on Reese Witherspoon's Apple TV Plus series. And the second season is actually coming up. It's right around the corner, premiering August 20th.
August 20th, yes. I was so taken. Let me tell you guys something. Octavia Spencer is the star of this show. And the first time that I met her, we had a table read, and I walked up and I said, "Hi, Mrs. Spencer. My name is Tammy." And she was looking at her script, and she never looked up. And she said, "It's Octavia," and never made eye contact with me. And I said, this woman does not like me. I'm going to have to get in here and show and prove. And so the first day on the set, when we actually were doing the scene work, after we were done, she came over and she said, "You can act. I like you." And we've been cool ever since. But, you know, it's always a blessing when you can be in the space with the craft of acting, with people of that magnitude. I've been trying to, you know, I've worked with Halle Berry, I've worked with Monique, several other Oscar winners, and now I can add Octavia Spencer. And so when you surround yourself with greatness, eventually, Tammy gonna get an Oscar. I'm gonna get an Emmy or something.
Well, and you better share that Oscar with us. We want to have you back on Houston Live when that happens. Let's also talk about your move to Houston, because love brought you here, right?
Well, actually, my mom passed in 2013, and I was living in California, and everywhere I looked, I just felt like I had so many memories, and I just couldn't take it. And so I had an appearance in Houston, and I came down and fell in love with the city. And then, so I moved. I just picked up and moved. I moved my two daughters, and we just hit the ground running to Houston. And about 2 years after that, I met my husband at Papado's. I was, you know, having lunch there, and he walked in and couldn't find a seat, and I asked him, "Hey, you want to come sit with me?" And then we've been inseparable ever since.
Well, The love story is fantastic. It's great to watch your career thriving. Tammy, it's great to see you, Truth Be Told, on Apple TV Plus.
Yes,
and the Miss
August
Pat
20th.
Show, now streaming on BET Plus. Come back and see us. Even before you get the Oscar, you're always welcome here at Houston Life.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Great to see you. And a reminder, the Miss Pat Show, now streaming on BET Plus. All right, and to keep up with Tammy and all her projects, we have shared a link on the Scene on Houston Life section of our website, houstonlife.tv.
Great catch up. I love that she's here and hearing all about her career too. It's fantastic.
We can play that track on repeat all day long. That was Clay Walker's Need a Bar Sometimes, one of the tracks from his brand new record, Texas to Tennessee.
His iconic voice, right? With 4 platinum albums and 11 #1 hits under his cowboy belt, Walker is one of the brightest stars in country music, and he joins us now to chat about his return to the stage. And of course, it's going to be right here in the Houston area. Clay, it's great to see you. Welcome to Houston Life.
Oh, it's great to see you, Courtney and Derek. Thank you for having me on, and can't wait to get back to Houston for the show.
I know. I miss concerts. I can't wait to hear you live. Before we talk about all of that, we want to talk about family life, pandemic life, and you and your wife, Jess, you're welcoming your baby boy. He's Christian Michael, 4 months old now?
That's right. He was born at Texas Children's. He's doing great, and all of our kids have been born there, all 5 of them, and just we're at a great hospital and great, they're all Houstonians. What can I say?
Well, congratulations on the new baby. And what I think is incredible, look at this beautiful family here on our screen. I mean, it really is great, Clay, that you are able to, not just able to continue inspiring your fans by creating new music, but also do the family thing, the husband thing, the dad thing. I mean, what has your big takeaway from the pandemic been?
Well, it's been great, for the family relationships, not so great for the pocketbook. But just did some shows this past weekend, first shows we've done, since COVID, and it's been great. It was great to get out, a little rusty, but we'll be in tune for the Woodlands, that's for sure. But family life could not be better, and I'm very thankful and very blessed, to have a wife like Jessica, who is, the most unbelievable mom and wife that you could ask for, and very supportive. The kids all play music as well, and so we got a lot of I think future ahead of us in the music business.
I think so, rightfully so. So your new album is on pre-order right now, and you co-wrote each of the collection, the 10 songs that are on here?
Yeah, that's right. It was a great experience, being able to write with the best writers in Nashville, and just got, every one of these songs, come from experience. I love the album title, Texas to Tennessee. I grew up a Texan, always be a Texan, and it's been a great career, great journey, and it looks like we're about to get a big lift with the new album, and folks are very interested in our brand of music, and it's really rising at the moment.
And Clay, I am always fascinated by the behind the scenes, like writing and recording process of the album. I understand you recorded this new album between Nashville and also Galveston, and that was by design, right? You wanted this to be symbolic of your home state, Texas, and your new adopted home, Nashville.
Absolutely. We did the vocals down at our home there in Galveston, and we'll be back there next week. But we split time between here and Galveston, and we also have a working cattle ranch in Mineola, Texas, but just really we wanted this album to be a reflection of who I am, what our family is, all of that, and there were some great songs that came out of it. Of course, Texas to Tennessee is the album title, and that's a great track right now. So if you pre-order the album, you'll have that track. Some other great tracks on here include Catching Up with an Old Memory. That may be my favorite song on the album. But Need a Bar Sometime is climbing the charts right now. It's our first song on radio in a while, and I want to give a shout out to our radio stations there that are taking care of me in Houston and playing our music and getting folks fired up about the Woodlands. It's really great. You know, when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis several years back, you know, it was great having the kind of doctors and our doctor that I have in Houston that knew how to take care of me and has kept me upright and healthy for all these years. And I'm just really thankful for the base of fans of support that I have there in Houston, and Houston will always be my home.
And you know, we always will think of you as being sort of our brother, right? I mean, you think of Houston, you think of Clay Walker, and I think the other thing, when you talk about your MS diagnosis, you were just 26 years old when that happened, and you were once told that you would live the rest of your life in a wheelchair.
Well, I was told I'd be in a wheelchair in a few years and be dead shortly after, and that certainly was, we were able to reverse that prognosis, you know, turn it around, and you know, now it looks like I will live a normal life, healthy life, and I'm just really thankful for all of the doctors and the technology that has come out, and especially to the good Lord above, you know, who has always been there for me. And
Clay, we love you so much. You are such a humble, talented guy, and it's great to see you. Congrats on everything.
I love you too, Derek and Courtney. Thank you very much.
It's a kid-owned environment.
It didn't feel like the version of what an adult was telling a kid to watch. It felt like really what kids were into.
That was a clip of The Orange Years, a documentary film that chronicles the rise of Nickelodeon, the first cable channel exclusively for children.
Yeah, it was written and directed by two local men, Scott Barber and Adam Sweeney, and they are joining us now with more on the story behind this project. Guys, I know there are a lot of Nickelodeon fans out there who will want to tune in to watch your film, but let's back things up 30 years earlier. 1991, the two of you met at Oak Ridge Elementary School in Conroe?
That's right, yeah.
Wow, so that is impressive. First of all, you guys stayed in touch.
Oh, look at that.
You have barely changed a bit, both of you. So fast
that is
forward.
Amazing. I haven't seen that in forever. That's awesome.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Glad we could share that with
searched
you.
high and low for those.
Okay, so now there you are on the carpet in front of that Netflix Step and Repeat. So fast forward 30 years, how did two childhood elementary school age friends go to becoming, you know, partners in creating this film?
Well, so Scott and I had worked together as scriptwriters as well as on some other short documentary projects, and we had always wanted to kind of step into the forefront, be masters of our own destiny, if you will. And Nickelodeon is something that really shaped our childhoods. It brought us together. We knew that documentary filmmaking was probably the most affordable way to kind of get that stepping stone. So we did a lot of brainstorming. We talked about something that we were really passionate about, but also what was something that an audience, you know, would like. And we kind of came to the agreement that Nickelodeon was the perfect choice.
It really is, and I have to tell you guys, you know, I find myself, I guess I'm aging myself, because I say to my boys all the time, they don't make TV shows like they used to, you know? I mean, I say that, and Nickelodeon truly did shape a generation on how they watch TV. I mean, Nickelodeon really did do something extraordinary for their time.
They absolutely do, yeah. And that's one thing that we really dive into in our film is this just nostalgia talking here? Do we love these shows just because everybody loves what was on the TV when they were a little kid? Or is there something deeper here? And we really wanted to showcase the work of the absolute visionary Geraldine Laybourne. She was a teacher, and she just approached kids programming from a totally different mindset than everybody before her or even after her, for that fact. And you know, you can see all of us still 30, 40 years later, we still love these shows. And, you know, Adam and I made a documentary about it. So it obviously had a huge impact. And she's the reason why.
Well, I think that's fair to say it had an impact on a lot of young people. Adam, will viewers learn anything surprising about Nickelodeon or behind the scenes after they watch your documentary?
Absolutely. I think that one of the biggest things that they will learn is that the approach to and focus on being inclusive was happening at Nickelodeon long before there was a call for it. The majority, I would say, of the visionaries and the creative programmers at Nickelodeon were women. And that says a lot about Geraldine Laybourne, because she trusted and also empowered and elevated a lot of female creatives to do their thing. And I think that anybody would understand and hopefully agree that the world and every room is a better place whenever there is diversity and equality with representation of voices and ideas. And that's something that we really focus on a lot. I think there are also going to be some very poignant moments. We've heard a lot of really wonderful feedback. And I think that learning the stories behind the stories that you fell in love with as a child will be a welcome surprise to many.
Well, I'm hooked already, and here's the other thing. I love that this programming was directed for children, but of course, in classic ways, there's a lot of adult humor in there that, now we're finding and hearing it, whereas before, it went over our heads. But Scott, as we're running out of time here, I know that you guys, this channel, the network, meant a lot to you and Adam as kids as well. So that's really where the passion kind of fueled.
Yeah, absolutely. It was programming for everybody. They knew their audience and they knew how to give their audience what they wanted. Yeah, there's Tom Kenny, who was on Rocko's Modern Life, and now he's SpongeBob. Yep. There's a lot of jokes that maybe you didn't get as a kid that you certainly will laugh at as an adult in shows like Ren and Stimpy, Rugrats, Rocko's Modern Life. It's just
all right.
Amazing work.
Scott Barber, Adam Sweeney. The film is called The Orange Years. Congrats on the film. Can't wait to see it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Love the yearbook photos, too. That was the best. And a reminder that The Orange Years, the Nickelodeon story, is now streaming on Hulu. It's also available to rent on iTunes and Amazon. Again, two Conroe guys making it big.
Yeah, and documentaries, they're a labor of love. They made that film without a lot of connections in Hollywood and on a shoestring budget. So good for them for making it happen.
Congratulations.
Okay, you're one of those people. That's right.
One of what?
Hashtag Jesus freaks. We haven't heard.
That was a clip of Houston native Juliana Destefano on the horror flick Blood Pageant, which is recommended for everyone. It's a new horror film where she co-stars alongside Snoop Dogg and Stephen Baldwin.
The actress and stand-up comedian is joining us now to talk about the film and her upcoming Hollywood career. Welcome to Houston Live, Juliana.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
And also welcome home, right?
Yes.
So you're from Bel Air.
From Bel Air,
Texas.
Texas.
Went to Bel Air High School?
Yep. Graduated 2014. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this is so incredible. We were chatting during the break, and you moved to LA at 18. Mm-hmm. You filmed 15 movies and TV shows. The list and the resume goes on and on. Are there some pinch me moments going on?
Yes. And the one was when I did 13 Reasons Why, because I love Selena Gomez, and she's one of the reasons I started acting, and she was the producer, the executive producer. So at the end of the credits it said Juliana Destefano and then a few other people, and it said executive producer Selena Gomez. And that was when I was like, there it is. There, I did it.
That is so incredible.
Yeah.
Well, and it sounds like during the break we were chatting about just how busy you are. So far, you have filmed 15 movies and TV shows, and you are about to start your 16th.
Yes, next week.
Can you tell us what the project is?
It's another Lifetime movie. So I do a lot of Lifetime, which I'm so thankful for because they're always good movies.
Yeah.
And it's a guilty pleasure, so yeah.
I like it too because it's sometimes can be family friendly, and it's one of those you don't really have to worry about, screening and all of that, when there's younger kids in the house or something. But the other tidbit about this, so you're also a comedian, stand-up comedian? Yeah. Girl, I mean, that to me gives me major anxiety because I feel like the pressure of that, how do you mix both worlds, acting and stand-up?
So this is what I do. Like, I love stand-up and I love acting, and everybody's like, which is your favorite? And I was like, I don't have to pick one, because a lot of the times, like, I'm filming in a different state, so I line up like different clubs to perform at. So I'm able to perform in all these different cities, but I love stand-up.
That's so smart.
So much.
It's an incredible skill, too, because there are a lot of actors or performers out there who don't come up with their own original content.
Right.
They just show up to, like, read the lines. Let's back up a bit, though. So you mentioned you graduated Bel Air High School in 2014.
Yes.
You immediately packed up and moved to L.A. Plenty of people do that. They'll move to Hollywood, and it doesn't work out. So what do you think it is about you that, you know, you were able to find so much work so fast?
I didn't quit when I heard no. And I was hearing no right away all the time. And, like, there were moments where I was like, I have to go back to Texas. And then I just didn't. I just kept saying yes to everything after that. Because a lot of people say no, but then they'll turn down all these other things. And I was like, I just said yes to everything. And that's why I got to do 15 films, so.
Yeah, because you're not afraid. Basically, you wanted to work.
I wanted to work. I really wanted to work, because I was like, I have nothing else. I don't know what else I can do. So I was like, I have to do this. So
I always love hearing people's stories on how hearing the word no, it just is that much closer to a yes.
Exactly. Because I was talking about that with my mom today. She was like, did you ever believe you'd be where you were? And I was like, no. Like, I never thought that. And then now I'm here, and I'm like, if I just listened to those no's, I wouldn't be here. So, yeah.
Let's talk about the film. So Snoop Dogg and Stephen Baldwin are two of the co-stars, and your character, you're essentially competing in a beauty pageant?
Yes.
That sounds fun.
So I'm a beauty pageant girl, which I never imagined me playing, which was so fun. And it's a group of these beauty pageant girls, and they all start dying.
Oh,
and
wow.
we don't know why. And so, and working with Snoop Dogg was amazing.
I mean, was there a little bit of a starstruck moment there with him? How cool was that?
It was so funny, because I, like, went to his trailer before he got there just to see what it was like. And he had, like, 2 bathrooms, 2 king-size beds, like it looked like a apartment. Like, it was so big. And then I met him right after that, and I was like, hi, can I get a picture? I don't even know if he, like, he's like, sure. He was so nice.
That's what I've heard about him.
And funny.
Very cool.
It's awesome. Well, and even though it's described as a horror film, it looks like Blood Pageant is actually kind of funny, yeah?
It's hilarious. It's because it kind of, you know what it reminds me of? A little bit of The Bachelor, but, like, making fun of it, just with, like, the host and the girl drama and the guy drama, like, all of this stuff. So there's a lot of comedy in it. You'll be laughing.
I love those kind of scary movies like that where you can always laugh, too.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of Amy, your character, in you?
Sometimes. I mean, sometimes I get like that, but, like, for the most part, like, she was very new to me, like, and, like, there were parts where there was a lot of screaming and crying, and, like, it was hard, but she has this, like, edge and attitude to her, which was so fun to play.
We like to scream and cry at work, too, so
daily.
You're not allowed, Juliana. Juliana, thank you so much for stopping by, and good luck with the new Lifetime film.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Absolutely. Please come back anytime.
Oh, yeah, I definitely will.
Love it. Congratulations. By the way, Blood Pageant is available now to watch on video on demand, and to connect with Juliana, head over to our website, HoustonLife.tv. We've got all the info posted there for you. Well, welcome back. After spending time overseas as a U.S. Navy SEAL, Jack Carr became a hit writer with the release of the political thriller, The Terminal List, and the start of a series getting adapted by Amazon Prime.
So awesome. Carr joins us now to share details on his 4th book, The Devil's Hand, and his rise to literary stardom. Jack, how's it going today?
It's going great. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
You know, Courtney and I joked. We said that you look like you're actually lumberjack in your log cabin with your tomahawks and your wood behind you. Let's talk a little bit about your amazing 20-year service.
Well, it was a good run, that's for sure. September 11th happened 2 weeks into my 2nd deployment. So from then on, it was a full-on sprint all the way through to the end. And I retired in 2016 with time in Iraq, time in Afghanistan, the Southern Philippines. And what I didn't realize at the time was that all those experiences, not exactly what happened, but the feelings and emotions behind those different experiences would find their way into the novel. So when people are reading it, I didn't have to interview someone that was a sniper in Ramadi in 2006, and then have whatever they have their answer put through whatever filters I may have had through my life experience, that sort of thing, if I was just interviewing them. But with having that experience, I can just think back on what it was like and then apply those feelings and emotions to a completely fictional narrative. So if it reads like it's authentic and real, that's because the feelings and emotions come from a real place.
Well, Jack, first of all, thank you so much for your 20-year service. You are obviously part of a very elite group, being part of the U.S. Navy SEAL team. The way that you describe the way that you write and taking these, feelings and emotions that you've had over the 20 years, I think it probably stems a little bit from your mom. Your mom was a librarian, right? I mean, that's where your love of writing kind of started as a child?
That's right. So I grew up surrounded by books and this love of reading, and both of my parents made it very natural. So just as natural as anything else we did, it was now time to read. It wasn't like we were forced to do it or bribed to do it. It was just something that we did. So my mom would take any opportunity that she had to take us down to the local library to do research if we expressed interest in anything, because of course back then there's no internet, so we can't just Google it. So we actually have to physically put in the work, go to the library, look these things up. And back then there was hardly any information out there about Navy SEALs. There was a few references here and there in a couple books and magazine articles and newspaper stories and things like that, but there wasn't an unending supply of information like there is today. So when I found out what SEALs were when I was 7, we went down there and did that research, and I knew the path that I was on. But following along with that, a lot of the information that I got came from fictional sources. So they came from these thrillers from guys like Tom Clancy and Nelson DeMille and David Morrell and Stephen Hunter, AJ Quinnell, J.C. Pollock, all these guys in the 80s whose protagonists, whose main characters had backgrounds that I wanted in real life one day. So I started reading all these thrillers starting in about the 5th grade, and I knew that after my time in the military, then I'd write the same kind of thrillers that I was enjoying growing up.
It's almost like you have these characters in your mind and you have a little bit of experience with each one of them, and then you get to put on paper how your adaptation is. And speaking of Hollywood adaptation, we got to talk about the big name attached to it. Chris Pratt, how did he get involved?
Yeah, this was crazy because I started writing this as I was nearing the time, I was getting close to my time to get out of the military and started writing. And at the time, Chris Pratt had just played on Parks and Rec, so not necessarily an action hero type person that you would think of playing your character like this. And he had a very small role in Zero Dark 30 about the Bin Laden raid. And I thought, you know what, this is a guy that could take on this role. He hasn't done one like this yet. As an actor, he needs to take that risk. I'm taking a risk with my family in this next chapter in life, putting everything in to this novel, and I think he's the guy. And then before the first novel even came out, I got a call from a friend of mine that I was in the SEAL teams with. And he called me and he said, I wanted to always thank you for what you did for me in the SEAL teams. And I couldn't remember what it was, but he said, you helped me with transition. You sat me down in your office. You introduced me to people in the private sector. No one else did that. I always wanted to thank you. And I said, no problem. And he said, I heard you have a book coming out. And I said, yeah, I have a rough copy I can send you. And he said, well, I'd like to give it to a friend of mine. And I said, well, who's that? And he said, Chris Pratt. So he gave it to Chris. Chris read it, and about a couple weeks later, Chris calls me and wants to option it for film. So off we go to the races.
And coolest sentence, right, Courtney? Chris Pratt called me the other day.
Hey, who knew? We're looking
He's
at
fantastic. He could not be nicer. This could not be in better hands, because there's a lot of trust that happens when you hand your manuscript over to someone to adapt it to film. And him and Antoine Fuqua, it could not be in better hands.
It's really great. We're so excited for it, and we're looking at the premiere next year. Is that right?
I think so, sometime in 2022.
Cannot wait. Okay, so we've got that. Let's talk about the new book, The Devil's Hand.
Yeah, so each book has a distinctly different theme, and that helps me as I sit down guide where the rest of the story goes. And the first one, The Terminal List, is really all about revenge without constraint. Second one, True Believers, a story of redemption and learning to live again, finding that next mission and passion in life. The third one, Savage Son, is really a tribute to The Most Dangerous Game, which is a short story I read back in 6th grade by Richard Connell. And it goes into the dark side of man through the dynamic of hunter and hunted. And this fourth one, I really wanted to explore something I thought about a lot while I was in the SEAL teams, and what I continue to think about today as an author author and as a citizen, which is what has the enemy learned by watching us on the field of battle for what is close to 20 years now? What lessons have they taken, incorporated into future battle plans, and in this case, in the case of the Devil's Hand, they use that knowledge to strike again. So I put myself in the enemy's shoes for a good year and a half as I was researching and writing this novel.
So wonderful. What a great story. Again, Jack Carr, thank you so much for your service. The Devil's Hand is available wherever books are sold, and if you want to get your hands onto an autographed copy, you can find them locally at Murder by the Book. Thank you again.
Great interview, and I need to get those 2 copies that he was talking about.
Absolutely,
for my boys.
yes.
Chemotherapy. He's one of Houston's hottest Caribbean artists and has been showcasing his talent all this month with the new album titled Son of Puttin' in honor of his late father. Now, I caught up with the Caribbean artist to see what got him into the industry and how he's taking us from Houston to the islands with his laid-back music.
Unicorn life, the forest be green, but the sunshine don't come through. Caribbean music has a sound of its own, a sound that local artist Chemotherapy has come to master, and one that he's ready to share with everyone.
It's more or less music that just moves people's spirit. It brings people together. It's like a world music. It's not just a one genre feel, even though they call it Caribbean music. It's more so a group of get-together of people. It doesn't matter where you're from, your background, your race, your creed. It's a celebration.
He started his music career when he was a teenager trying to fit in with the mainstream rap industry, but soon came to discover it wasn't for him.
Getting with other producers and people that created the actual compositions, they couldn't feel what I was trying to portray, and they couldn't bring it out.
That's when he took things into his own hands.
I kind of flipped the script. I got some equipment and started producing my own beats, and I kind of put the writing and recording vocally on the back burner. Started doing tracks, as they call them, and that kind of just opened up more doors for me.
Bama Lama, Bama Lama, Bama Lama.
Rude Boy Records was started as Chemotherapy popped up on the Houston Caribbean scene, making a huge mark on the energy-filled music, and now has a new album incorporating the smooth island vibes.
I would like people to not only embrace the culture, but to understand that music is limitless. This album is an eclectic vision of all variations of music. So you're gonna have your hip-hop, your pop, you're gonna have your Caribbean, even a little country taste in there. And of course, you're gonna have like your reggae styles, and just like how we talk, so we could change it up, and you're gonna have your accent and your Caribbean style, you check what I say, you know? So it's gonna be a good little vibe, you know, a good mixture, and you're gonna come away happy.
Yeah, I've been jamming to the album all this week. Now, you can pick up his new album, Son of Puttin', dropped this month, and can also be streamed on all music platforms. I'll have a link on our website, HoustonLife.tv, where you can find more about his incredible Caribbean music.
All right, Joe, thank you for that. Kind of makes you want to dance, doesn't it? This was a fun show today. I still cannot believe that Lauren Kelly's parents went to high school with Dennis Quaid.
It's so crazy. Bel Air High School, just right down the road. Love seeing the yearbook photos as well. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, we will see you back tomorrow. KPRC 2 News at 4 o'clock is happening.